Hey guys, what's going on? Earth Twister here, and this time we're coming back with y'all for another battle. And this time we're taking Magneto up against the Four Horsemen: War, Famine, Pestilence, and Death. This battle is a little bit different than the first one, mostly because we have four villains to face all at once instead of just one at a time. And they are a little bit tough. This is probably one of my least favorite villains in the entire game. But we're trying to keep it thematic. So let's go through with this. Let's get a little bit of a shuffle going on here with our player deck. I made a few changes from the last game. I took out a few allies, a couple of upgrades, and some supports, and I added in a few different events and different allies as well to make up those cards. I think I'm running at about a 43, 44 card deck right now. So once we get a good shuffle here, we'll get started. We have a little bit of setup to do. Of course, after shuffling the player deck, we have to shuffle the encounter deck, and then we'll follow the setup instructions here on the main scheme. So I'm probably going to do a quick cut right about here so you don't have to watch me shuffle this whole time. One thing I did forget to mention is that I have the four hero health dials here that we're going to use for each of the four horsemen. And I will be using the villain health dial for myself this time. We also have the first player marker, and we're going to use it as the active villain token. And of course, we are sticking with standard 3 for this playthrough, just because it feels thematic and it was part of the Age of Apocalypse campaign box. All right, that feels pretty shuffled. Let's go ahead and put this in right here. All right, the setup says shuffle the four horseman villains, then reveal them in a row from left to right. Place the active counter on the leftmost villain, and then each player reveals a random side scheme from the Four Horsemen encounter set. Okay, let's go ahead and get these guys, and we'll shuffle them up. I'll try not to look. Y'all will have a better idea of what's going to come first than I will. I really hate these guys because of some of their abilities. After they attack you, I don't know if they have to damage you. We'll read that. But after they attack you, some sort of bad effect occurs when they do. All right, so we're going to start with Pestilence. Then we'll get War, Famine, we'll remove Pursued by the Past here, and we'll end with Death. Okay? All right, Pestilence has 9 health, and I'm going to put their health dials up here. It may be kind of off screen, I'm not sure, but I'll be able to keep up with it, and hopefully you guys will as well. War also has 9. Famine has 9. Okay, they all have 9 health. The Sinister Six each have some sort of different health, so that's why I'm double checking. Okay, we'll pull Pursued by the Past down here, and we'll look for our side scheme. It does say random. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the side schemes out. And okay. Then I'm going to shuffle these up and pull one out at random. I don't have any dice on me right now, otherwise I would roll a 1 through 4. But for now, we can just shuffle it up and we'll reveal this one. A Time of Famine. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards the top 10 cards of their deck. Okay. All right, shuffle up the encounter deck, and then we'll draw our hand. Okay, we'll reveal the main scheme, and we'll keep that right here. Really running out of space. Comes in with 0 threat. I have 12 before I lose. And force response after a villain activates, move the active counter to the next villain. Let's go ahead and start with the active counter on Pestilence. After she attacks me, if she has at least one hit point, treat my identity's text box as if it were blank until the next villain phase begins. That's really rough. So I need to try and get a stun off on her as soon as possible. Give ourselves another little bit of a shuffle here. All right. And let's set our hit point dial to 10. We'll keep that over here. Okay. We'll move these off screen just a touch so we can have a little bit more space. And a time of famine comes in with 6 threat. It also has an acceleration token. So if I don't manage threat well, things could go real south real fast. Okay. We got team training, wrapped in metal, magnetic bubble, electromagnetic blast, beak, and X-23. Okay. I don't have the resources for X-23. I don't have enough allies really for beak to be useful right now. There are no minions in play. Um, this is a little expensive for right now. I kind of hate that going away, but that is what it is. So we'll keep electromagnetic blast and team training in play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Mutant Mayhem is a new card that I included. Mostly I'm looking for this card when I have Children of the Atom. So right now this may end up being a resource. And Cyclops won't be played right away either, I don't think. So let's go ahead, grab all this together. What I want to do is use Mutant Mayhem, Inspired, Electromagnetic Blast, and Cyclops to play Beast. And I'll get to look for a resource card. And we'll add Strength to my hand. There we go. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and flip up. And remember our used and ready tokens. Okay, so right now I do have enough resources to play my entire hand, but I think what I want to do is use the magnetic pool to try and get something good. So we got metal shards. Um, that would be good, except for the fact, well, I could immediately take pestilence out. That would be a really good move, maybe. Um, I believe she would still activate against me, but she wouldn't have um she wouldn't have any hit points, but she'd still activate. She just wouldn't be defeated, but she wouldn't be able to trigger her force response. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack her for 2. Takes her down to 7. Then I'm going to use strength and team training to play metal shards. It says deal 7 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, gain a tough status card. She cannot be defeated, but she drops down to 0 hit points, meaning my text box will not be blanked. That's a crazy first turn. We're going to thwart 2 off of a time of famine with Beast, bringing that from 6 down to 4, and he takes a consequential damage. Okay, not bad for first turn. We'll ready and draw up. 1, Moira. 2, Magnetic Missile. 3, New Recruits. 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. It's an interesting hand. So what happens now is the Horsemen of the Apocalypse We will get 2 threat because we do have an acceleration token here. The threat goes up by 2. And Pestilence will activate. She'll attack me for 1 plus a boost. I'll go ahead and take it. So 1, 2, 3. So it takes me from 10 down to 7. Okay. Then we get an encounter card, Evil Alliance. Each Nemesis and minion in play activates against you. If no minions activated this way, place 3 pursuit counters on pursued by the past. That puts us within easy range of getting our Nemesis minion, which would not be fun at all. But now it's my turn. What I think I would like to do here is I'm going to bring in new recruits, which comes in with 2 threat. Okay. Um, and I will go ahead and thwart that threat off of here. Which puts this in the victory display, which we'll put here. And I get to choose one of these 4 allies. Surge comes in, and if I have the mutant or X-Men trait, I get +1 attack. Or she gets +1 attack. Indra gets +2 hit points. And Null gets +1 thwart. And Bling gets toughness. I think what I want to do is get a Null. Will come into my hand. I'm going to use Wrapped in Metal and Magnetic Missile to play a Null. Perfect. So with that, a Null has +1 thwart. So he's a 3/2. I'm going to go ahead and use my magnetic pool. Discarding a bunch of good cards here. Okay, we get Electromagnetic Blast. I forgot to move this after she activated, so War will be the one that activates against me. I'm going to go ahead and use Electromagnetic Blast to play Inspired on a Null, so he'll have +1/+1. So he'll be thwarting for 4 and will remove all the threat off of a Time of Famine. He'll get a consequential damage, but we've defeated this. Which unfortunately does mean I have to discard the top 10 cards of my deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything I wanted is now in there. Okay. But at least I know where it is. So Beast is going to actually thwart for 2 off of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. He'll then take a consequential damage. I'm going to flip down. When I do that, I put the top 3 cards and put them shuffled back into my deck. So it's not game over. Not game over in the slightest. Okay. I get to ready up and draw my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are some good cards that I wanted to see. Great. All right, so now the villain phase. Threat goes up by 1. War will now scheme instead of attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually insane. So from 1 to 5. And then after he activates, moves to famine. Okay. Now I get an encounter card. Happens to be Hound, who has guard. And when revealed, if I am in hero form, Hound attacks me. Otherwise, I change my identity to hero form. That's interesting. All right. Now that that's over, It is now my turn. Moira was actually going to be pretty helpful, but now not so much because I'm already in hero form. I will use my No. I'm going to use Master of Magnetism and Mutant Mayhem to pay for Magneto's helmet. Move my allies over a bit. Then Magneto's helmet and Moira will pay for Magneto's armor. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my magnetic pull ability, which gives me Asteroid M, and that's a wild. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, um, I would get to choose. So I think what I will do is I'm going to choose attack, and I will do this. Annul will thwart for 4 and remove threat from here down to 1. It was a good use of Annul, but he has now been defeated. Then Beast is going to attack Hound. He's going to be defeated, and so is Hound. And Magneto will go ahead and will attack War right here for 3. Then, because I started in hero form, I can flip down and throw the top 3 cards of my deck back into, or of my discard back into my deck. Okay, then I ready and draw up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Okay, threat goes up by 1 here. Then Famine will scheme for 2 plus a boost. 2, 3, 4. So we are at 6. Halfway there. She's schemed, so this moves over to Death. And I get an encounter card. Another Hound. So I will just flip up to hero form. No big deal. All right. Now what I can do here. I'm going to use these 3 cards to pay for the X-Jet. The X-Jet will then pay for Children of the Atom. And then I will use my magnetic pull ability. I get Master of Magnetism. And I have discarded Fist, Mental, and Energy. But that is exactly what I wanted, actually. So I'm going to use Master of Magnetism and play Triage. Triage will then heal 2 damage from me. I've gotten +1 on all my stats. Triage will actually go ahead and swing for 1 at Hound. Come on. And I will thwart for 3 off of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, bringing that from 6 down to 3. I'm going to go ahead and flip back down, shuffling the top 3 cards in my deck, my discard pile into my deck. And ending my turn, so I'll go ahead and draw these 4. And then I will get an encounter card for this, but I'll shuffle this up. And I will draw 2 more cards. Phoenix and Magnetic Missile. Not too bad. Should be able to pull through. And ready? Okay. So threat goes up by 1 here, bringing it from 3 to 4. Death will scheme for 1, 2, 3, 4, bringing it from 4 to 8. And then Hound will add 1 on there, bringing it from 8 to 9. This was actually my encounter card. This was the boost. So this actually comes down by 1, so it's at 8. That was the boost. That was the first encounter, and this is the second encounter. So, first encounter is Plague and Pestilence. Comes in with 6 threat. That's actually really not good because I can't ward off the main before this. And this is Horseman of Famine. Heal 2 damage from Famine and give her a tough status card. Then she activates against you. Pestilence goes there. Heal 2 damage from Famine. Can't do that. She does get a tough. And she will scheme for 2 plus a boost. 2 and 1 counter on Pursued by the Past. Which pops Pursued by the Past. We flip this over. We bring in Exodus and Martyr for Mutants. Comes in with 3 threat. Exodus gets a tough. And he's villainous. She schemed for 2. Bringing our total up to 10. We are in a tough situation. She did activate, so this moves over to war. This is not the situation you want to be in. All right. So Exodus is kind of in my discard pile. And move him over here. Hopefully I don't forget about him. I'm going to use Master of Magnetism, the X-Jet, and Magnetic Missile. We'll bring in Beast. Triage will remove Hound. And be defeated by consequential damage. Beast will port 2, although when he came in, I do get to get this resource back into my hand. Beast will port 2 off of Plague and Pestilence, bringing it from 6 to 4. I'm going to flip up, and before it gets too late, I will use my Magnetic Pull ability, get an Electromagnetic Blast. Beast does get consequential damage. I discarded Beak, so that's an energy, which gives me a +1 defense, and Electromagnetic Blast, so I just get +1 defense. Magneto then will thwart 2 off of Plague and Pestilence, bringing it from 4 to 2. Let me think. If I just had one more resource, this would be so much better. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Magneto's helmet and Inspired will play Electromagnetic Blast. You get to remove 3 threat from a scheme, so we'll remove the 2 from here. It gets rid of Plague and Pestilence. Now my text box is blanked until the next villain phase begins. So it's not terrible. All right. Then what I can do is one of two things. Honestly, this is probably the best. I'm going to use Master of Magnetism and a Null to pay for Phoenix. After Phoenix enters play, choose an X-Men ally, Beast. Ready that ally and heal a damage from it. Then Phoenix and Beast will thwart 4 off of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, taking it from 10 to 6. And we'll have to deal with those 2 here in a minute. But we'll make sure these allies get consequential damage. And we'll draw up to our hand size. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, reminder. The player who defeated this scheme treats their identity's text box as if it were blank except for traits until the next villain phase begins. So now the next villain phase has begun. It's not really that bad. So I will be able to defend for 3. So War will attack me for 2 plus a boost. I'm going to defend for 3. 2, 3. I take no damage from him. After War attacks you, if he has at least 1 hit point, he has 6. Discard an upgrade or support I control. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be Children of the Atom. Okay. Now that he's done that, Exodus will attack me. He's going to attack me for 2 plus a boost. Phoenix is going to defend. She'll take 3 damage. That defeats her. And now, he would have attacked me, but he attacked Phoenix instead, so that's fine. Now I get an encounter card. Rough Riders resolve the force response on the active villain, which is Famine. And then move the active counter to the next villain and resolve its force response the same way. Okay. So I take the top 10 cards in my deck and discard them. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I move this over here. After death attacks, his force response is deal damage to each character I control. So Magneto takes the damage, and Beast takes the damage. Okay, cool. Cool. Really wish I had my cape right about now. All right. So now it's my turn. I'm going to use Magnetic Pool. I get Metal Shards. My attack goes up to 3, but that doesn't really matter. I think what's going to be important here is Beast is going to sacrifice himself. He's going to attack Exodus to remove the tough. I forgot that this had a boost icon, so War would have actually dealt the damage to me. So the tough has been knocked off of Exodus. Beast is defeated. What I can do, though, is use Magneto's helmet, the X-Jet, and actually, this is what I'll do first. I'm going to use Reinforced Suit, pay for Death Focus. Then these three will pay for Metal Shards, deal 7 damage to an enemy. That's Exodus. If this attack defeats that enemy, gain a tough status card. It does defeat Exodus, so I get a tough status card. And then that leaves me with this. So I'm going to use these two as a resource to pay for Electromagnetic Blast, remove 3 threat from Martyr for mutants, and I will discard the top 9 cards of my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm actually going to flip down. I saw the card that I wanted. 1, 2, 3. These get shuffled back into my deck. I think I can survive. I know I'm halfway there on the scheme, but I think I can survive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Got 2 cards left. Okay. Ready? All right. Death. So I get +1 threat here. And Death Wall Scheme for 1, 2, 3. Bringing it from 7, 10. Okay. After he activates, deal 1 damage. The tough goes away. And please don't be a scheme. Okay. It is a side scheme, but when defeated, the player who defeats the scheme deals a damage to each character they control. 5, 6 threat. Okay. Made it out. I'm going to go ahead and use Master of Magnetism to pay for Moira. Then I'm going to flip up. When I do that, Moira will draw me a card. Reinforced Suit and Asteroid M will play Magneto's Cape. Then I'm going to Hope against Hope. It is a magnetic card, so I get to add it to my hand. I do get an encounter card. That's okay. I forgot to... I'm going to have thwarted 2 from the Horsemen of the Apocalypse before I did that. And what I did was I discarded a mental resource, so I'll get +1 thwart. And I get to ready again. That'll ready me. Okay. Then X-Jet, Mutant Mayhem, and Wrapped in Metal will pay for X-23. I will go ahead and thwart for 3. This actually moves to Pestilence. I'm going to thwart for 3 off of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. X-23 is going to take a consequential and deal 3 damage to War. Okay. This feels okay. This feels okay. Ready up. I do get an encounter card. Draw my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Threat goes up by 1. Pestilence will attack me for 1 plus a boost. I'll defend for 2. 2. Okay, so I get stunned. I take no damage. She would attack for 1, 2, and then I'd be stunned. All right, that's not too bad. This moves to war. Then we get encounter cards. I get Hound. If I'm in hero form, Hound attacks me. So I take 2 damage from Hound. And then I get Horseman of Death, heal 2 damage from Death, and give him a tough status card, and he activates against me. So I can't heal. He does get a tough, and he activates against me, meaning he attacks me for 2, 3, 4, bringing me down to 1 health. Um, and I die. Well, poo. All right. Well, I'm going to clean up, take a 5-minute break, and we're going to try it again. I think I've got a pretty good deck, so I'm not too worried about it. It's just the Four Horsemen are rough. All right, well, it's a good thing that we had to restart because I realized that I forgot to shuffle in the rest of my Nemesis set. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and we've removed all my Nemesis sets since we haven't triggered Pursued by the Past yet. I'm shuffling up the encounter deck right now. I'm gonna stop that because I do need to add some things in. I'm gonna try and shuffle these guys up without looking, and then we're gonna see what we get in what order. Things will be a little bit different this time. Could be good, could be more rough. We'll see. All right, we've got Death to start, then Pestilence, then War, and Famine. Okay, and you'll notice that I did reset all their health dials. Now we will reveal a random set-aside side scheme. And by set-aside side scheme, I mean random side scheme from the Four Horsemen. Okay, and we get Plague and Pestilence. Okay, shuffle them up into the deck. Start an alter ego. Shuffle our deck up. I did take a null out from the last time. And I need to make sure I get new recruits shuffled back in there. All right, finish shuffling. Draw our first hand. Strength, that's solid. New recruits, Death Focus, Triage, Magnetic Missile, and Magneto's Cape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to definitely keep the cape. We're going to mulligan on the missile. I don't need triage right now. And I guess I could keep new recruit. And then we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's really great starting hand. Okay. This comes in with 6 threat. And the Horseman of the Apocalypse comes in with 0. All right. So I'm going to start by using Strength. It's 2 resources to pay for Magneto's Cape. And Master of Magnet. We'll do this. I'm gonna flip up. I'm gonna thwart 2 off of Plague and Pestilence. Then I'm going to use my magnetic pool. Get a Master of Magnetism. I get to ready from that. Um, Master of Magnetism and new recruits. No, because I can thwart it down. New recruits will be played. Comes in with 2 threat. Yeah, Master of Magnetism and Death Focus will play Magneto's helmet. I'll thwart 2 off of new recruits. I'm going to get a null from the set aside, put him in my hand, use Master of Magnetism to play a null. He'll get +1 thwart. That goes in the victory display. A null will then thwart 3 off of Plague and Pestilence, taking a consequential, and that is it's a decent start. I'm about to lose a null, but that's okay. Magneto's helmet does get this, and I draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, threat goes up by 1. Death will attack me for 2 plus a boost. I'm gonna take it. Actually, I'm gonna lose a null anyways, so a null will take it for me. 2. After this activation, War activates against me, and I do not give War a boost card for that activation. So a null, thank you for taking that. And then I take 1 damage from Death's activation, and then moves to Pestilence. So then War would activate. War activates for 2. Take 2 from him. After a villain activates, move the active counter to the next villain, so it moves over to War. After he attacks me, discard an upgrade or support I control. Well, I guess it's going to be Magneto's helmet because the ready is going to be really big. Oh, I hate War so much. All right. That was boost. Here's the encounter. Hunted. Great. All right. Let's think here. Wrapped in Metal will play Children of the Atom. I'm going to thwart 2. I won't be able to ready. I can't thwart. I'm going to attack 2 on War. Then I'm in a Magnetic Pool. Get a Wrapped in Metal. I attack 2, Magnetic Pool, so his cape readies me. Then I'm going to use Wrapped in Metal, Moira, and Electromagnetic Blast to play Metal Shards to deal 7 damage to an enemy. If that defeats the enemy, get a tough status card. Does not defeat him, but now when he activates against me, he does not have any hit points to be able to make me discard things, which is really big. Then I'm going to thwart for 2 off of Plague and Pestilence. That gets rid of that. My text box is blinked until the start of the next villain phase. I'm gonna flip down. I will get an extra alter ego card, and by alter ego card I mean encounter card, but that's okay. I can handle it. I think I will go ahead and ready. I flip down, so the top 3 cards in my discard pile go back into my deck. Then I draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Threat goes up by 1. War activates. He schemes for 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll just put a 5. There we go. Math is hard. So he schemes for that. He didn't attack me, plus he has 0 hit points, so it moves to famine. Um, Now it's encounter card turn, so I get 2 encounter cards. First one, Time of Famine, comes in with 6 threat. And then Horseman of Famine, heal 2 damage from famine. Give her a tough status card, and she activates against you. Tough, 2, 3, comes up to 8. And this moves to death. Wonderful. I'm going to discard Reinforced Suit to get rid of Hunted. I'm going to flip up Moira, Sunspot, and Metal Shards. We'll pay for Uncanny X-Men. I will then thwart 2 from A Time of Famine. I'm going to use my Magnetic Pull ability. I get Magneto's armor. Unfortunately, so that readies me. I'll thwart another 2 here. I'm going to use Magneto's armor. Uncanny X-Men brings Beacon for 1. He will get to remove 1 threat from his scheme for each X-Men ally I control. And he'll thwart the final threat off of A Time of Famine, which means I discard the top 10 cards in my deck. 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not looking good for me, guys. He does get a consequential. There we go. So not only is he X-Men, but he's also X-Force and X-Factor. All right. Then I get to ready and draw up. Okay. Threat goes up by 1. Death will activate. Beak will defend. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Beak, for your sacrifice. Get an encounter card. Golden Horse. Attached to the villain with the fewest hit points without the aerial trait. Attached villain gets the aerial trait and is considered to have at least 1 hit point. After you attack attached villain, resolve its forced response as if it just attacked you. Great. Now that's one question, because he didn't have any hit points remaining. So I guess Pestilence would have it. Pestilence or famine. So we'll put it on pestilence. If I'm doing that wrong, please let me know in the comments. Okay. But it is now my turn. Um, I will thwart for 2. Then I'm going to use my magnetic pool, hoping against hope. I get a magnetic missile, 2 physicals, so that's 1 on my attack. Actually, no, that doesn't happen because my armor's not out there. Then I can thwart for 2 more. Okay. Um, Marrow still costs 2, but I think I have enough resources in my hand. So if I use Mutant Mayhems, pay for Marrow, I will do 2 damage to Pestilence. Oh, it's so close. Um, so close, but no cigar. She's X-Force. Not controlled by me in my hand, so she wouldn't have been 1. Ugh. That's okay. I'm going to use Magnetic Missile to inspire Marrow. She will thwart 2 off of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And that is my turn. She takes a consequential. Draw my hand up. One card left. Whew. Okay. All right. Threat goes up by 1. Death activates for 2. I'll defend for 2. 3. So I take 1 damage. And then I take another for his ability. And Marrow takes 1. This moves to Pestilence. Draw an encounter card. Nowhere is safe. Place pursuit counter, then pursued by the past. Then if it has any counters on it, discard an upgrade or support you control. I will go ahead and discard Children of the Atom. And this gets 1 counter on it. And now it's my turn. Let me see. What can we do? We can hope. I'm going to use my magnetic pool. Haha, there we go. I could draw a card. I get to ready from my cape. I get to then shuffle and get an extra encounter card. Because who doesn't like extra encounter cards, right? Then Magneto will thwart for 2, bringing that from 4 down to 2. Genius is going to play Electromagnetic Blast. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from that scheme, you may discard attachment with text, hero action, or hero response. This has a hero response, so it gets discarded because I removed those last of that threat. Then Metal Shards, Inspired, and Electromagnetic Blast. Oh, he's actually 2 cost. Um, these 2 cards will then pay for Cyclops, and I'm going to choose Pestilence to take extra damage this turn. So Marrow will attack Pestilence for 3, but dealing an extra damage 4, so bringing her down to from 7 to 3. She does, however, get defeated by consequential damage. It's very, very helpful. And Cyclops will actually attack for 3 on Pestilence, bringing her from 3 down to 0. So 2 of the 4 horsemen have been defeated. 2 are left. 1 has a tough status card, and 1 is death. But neither of these can trigger their abilities, which is great. All right. Cyclops and Magneto will ready. Drop to my hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Threat goes up by 1. Pestilence will activate, attacking me for 1 plus a boost. I will defend. 1, 2, 3. So I take 1 damage. Moves to war. Then I get my encounter cards. I get a Hound. Attacks me for 2. And another Hound, which Cyclops will defend and be defeated. Dang. All right. I'm going to use my magnetic pool and hope for a Master of Magnetism. There we go. So I will use a Master of Magnetism, a Team Training, and a Mutant Mayhem to pay for Beast, who will then pull Master of Magnetism back to my hand. I do get to ready for Magneto's Cape for earlier. Beast will get a token there. Then Master of Magnetism will pay for Beak, which will remove the threat from the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This is good. Beast and I will attack the Hounds, removing them from play. Beast gets a consequential. Then Beak will ping the tough off of Famine and get a consequential. I have 1 card in my hand. Forgot both of these guys were cheaper because of Uncanny X-Men. I remember that they get their health, but I don't remember that they're cheaper. Oh well. I will go ahead and flip down so I can heal next turn. And when I do that, top 3 cards of my deck get shuffled back into my deck. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get to ready. We have an Inspired, Moira, a Triage, a Reinforced Suit, a Pixie, and a Mutant Mayhem. Not bad. Okay. Threat goes up by 1. War Schemes for 1, 2, 3. Bringing that from 1 up to 4. This moves to Famine. I get an encounter card. I put 3 pursuit counters in Pursued by the Past, which means this triggers. I had it on the wrong side. So that brings in Exodus and his side scheme. Now we shuffle the guys in here. Okay. Exodus gets a tough. This has 3 threat. All right, my turn. I will heal for 3, bringing me from 2 up to 5. Then I'll flip up. Moira and Mutant Mayhem will pay for Triage. Triage will heal me too. All right, let's see. Can I do 18 points of damage? Who knows? Um, a reinforced suit will pay for Inspired. I'm going to use Magneto's Cape. I get a Metal Shards. Beak will pay. Will ping the tough off of Exodus, taking a consequential. He would be defeated if it wasn't for the Uncanny X-Men. I do get to ready because I did the magnetic pool already. What I will do is I'm going to use Metal Shards, pay for Pixie. Pixie will come in, removing Beak from play because I only have space for 3. Beak, you did good, kid. Then I can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it was a physical that I drew, so I can do 9 damage in one go. I think I have enough allies too. So, we're all going to go. So 3, 4. No, 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 no. It's only 8. I keep forgetting. Hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. What I will do then is Magneto and Triage will thwart 3 off of Martyr for Mutants. Then Beast and Pixie. Why did I feel like they were attacking for 3 each? They will go ahead and attack Exodus, dealing 5 damage to him. He's attacking for 3. She's attacking for 2. That gives Pixie 2 consequential. She stays alive, however, because of Uncanny X-Men. And Beast takes 1 consequential. All right. Cutting it pretty close. All that good. We'll draw up to our hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. I think if we survive, we can make it. The threat goes up by 1. Famine attacks for 1 plus a boost. Triage, who would have a consequential, is going to defend. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Triage, for your noble sacrifice. And then Exodus will attack. Pixie will defend. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Pixie. And so Famine had activated. This moves over Death. And we draw an encounter card. Is Frenzy with Quick Strike. He'll deal 2 damage to me and discard the top 2 cards of my deck. No big deal. Okay. So what can we do? I will have Magneto thwart for 2. And then he'll use his magnetic pool. He gets his helmet, which is a mental. And Beast will attack Death for 3. I readied. Magneto will attack Death for 2. Beast gets a consequential but survives because of Uncanny X-Men. And because of Uncanny X-Men, Phoenix comes in for 2 instead of 3. And she is going to heal from Beast and ready him. And he'll attack again for 3 on Death, bringing Death down to 1. And he'll get that consequential back. Phoenix is going to chill there for a minute. She'll attack Exodus to remove him from play. We don't need to deal with his kind. And when he is defeated, after Exodus is defeated, nothing happens. It's just after he attacks you. Cool. So she defeated him. It's fantastic. And we have 1 hit point left on Death. The magnetic missile is going to bring in a null. He has +1 thwart. But he feels like he can do his job well, and he's going to attack Death for 2. It's going to end him there. We have 1 guy left. 2 cards in my hand I can't pay for. So we're going to ready and draw up the rest of our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is good. So it goes up by 1. Death will attack me for 2 plus a boost. Phoenix will defend. 2, 3, 4. That does defeat her. Thank you for everything, Phoenix. Frenzy will attack for 2, which I will take. Death activated, so it moves to Pestilence. Let me get an encounter card. Ahab's Energy Spear. Attached to Ahab, otherwise attached to the villain. Forced interrupt. When attached enemy attacks you, this attack gains overkill and piercing. At the end of this attack, discard Ahab's energy spear. So I believe it would attach to the active villain. So we're going to attach it there to Pestilence, which is fine because we just need to take out Famine. And perhaps we can do that. We'll see. All right, so first move. Beast will attack for 3 and be defeated. Thank you, Beast, for literally everything. Annul will attack for 2, bringing him from 6 down to 4. Doesn't get defeated, stays in play because of Uncanny X-Men. Then Utopia and Reinforced Suit will play Wrapped in Metal. I will attack for 2. Do my Magnetic Pool and get a Magnetic Missile. That readies me. I wrapped Frenzy in Metal, so this will be fun. Because we're going to use Mutant Mayhem, pay for Magnetic Missile, which discards a minion with Wrapped in Metal attached. And then I get to deal 5 damage to an enemy and stun it. We'll do it here to Famine, which defeats Famine and all 4 Horsemen. We've officially defeated the 4 Horsemen. It feels so good. I don't know what mistakes I made on that first run through. So if you guys have any thoughts about what happened there. And then also if I made any mistakes here with the villains, the multiple villain scenarios always confuse me. But I feel like that was a pretty good run. Magneto is a really strong character, and I'm really enjoying playing him. This is officially the 3rd time that I've played him, unless you count the battles that I've lost, in which case it's like 5. But he's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying him. He's really, really great once you get the helmet, the cape, and the armor out. But I think the next battle is one of my favorites. We were done with the 4 Horsemen. Hopefully, we never have to pull them back out of the box. We'll see. This has been fun. This has been fun. Thanks, guys, for watching. Feel free to check out the other videos that I have linked in this playlist. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.